Hey booze, hey, do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Welcome, everybody. It's your girl, Leanne Dulce. We are here for another episode of Wake Up Happy Sis. Let me add in my co-host. Good morning, Sharonda. Oh, we cracking today.
That's what we doing today.
Okay.
I told you I would.
Oh, you ready?
I'm ready.
All you need is a new church hat on today.
New hat.
Yes.
I will see what my co-host has to say that's going to warrant which prop I use today.
Because I might be coming with a little something, but let's tell them about this episode today.
All right.
So, we're here with Wake Up Happy Sis on KCCR the Brownstone, where we are changing the narrative for our Black and Brown people because we're telling our stories our way. And today we're diving into a topic that really cuts close to home. Microaggressions and promoting inclusivity in professional spaces for us Black women. So, look, so you see, we're getting deep today.
Yes, ma'am.
We're getting deep today. So keep that fan right there.
Okay.
So you can be ready because there may be a clack moment. Okay.
I gotta practice the movement though. I'm a little. Oh, I did it. Okay.
Boom. Now see, you guys go this way. I can't do it that way. I have to go down.
And that's what I did.
Oh, I thought you went up. I was gonna say
I got it with the topmost rib, and then let it fall down.
Mm-hmm. So you got it. You ready?
I'm gonna get good, girl.
Are you ready? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've all been there, right? Those little subtle slights that undermine our existence. They're making us feel some kind of way at work when they're throwing a little backhanded shade at us. But you know what? We are not just surviving through this shit. We are thriving. Okay? We are coming for everything that is ours. And we showing them that these little microaggressions are not going to stop us. Okay?
Unfazed.
We unfazed. So on today's show, for those who are a little phased and they're wondering, how do I work through this? We're going to unpack this. We're going to learn how we can equip ourselves with tools to handle microaggressions and strategies to promote inclusivity in our professional spaces. So that's what we're talking about today. So have you ever had a moment where you dealt with microaggressions when you were in corporate America?
Well, yes, it was actually more. I think the first time I saw it was when I was enlisted in the Army.
I could see that.
And I was a party of one in my workspace. And I had been doing the job as a lower enlisted forever because we couldn't keep our supervisors. They were just coming and going and stuff, but I was the constant. So at that time, I had like 3 chapels and 8 chaplains and a sea of brand new soldiers and stuff and making it happen. I mean, I was in, and I was thrusted into leadership and stuff. And so when the next supervisor had came in, she happened to look like me. And so I kind of got a little bit happy. I was like, ooh, we got somebody that looks like me. Maybe I could just sit back in the cut after I, hand things. Yeah, that look right there. That was absolutely the doggone thing. She thought I wanted her job. No, bitch, I was doing your job. I'm just happy that you're here.
So I can get it all off.
You can have all of this and stuff. but she was sabotaging me. There was some jealousy. I didn't have the vocabulary back then when I was younger about the microaggression. I just felt off. I'm like, why is she treating me like this? I'm here to support her so she
Yeah.
can be successful. And all she's doing is just throwing shade on me and stuff. Like, I was getting ready to go before the promotion board. And in the Army, you have to get your uniform together. You got to study because there's going to be a battery of questions and all that kind of stuff. And you want to present well. Girl, can I tell you, she jacked my uniform up so badly. Like,
Oh,
of course, the board is looking at me like,
looking at you like you crazy.
whose soldier is this coming in here looking all ate the hell up?
Wow.
But I just had to power on through it and stuff, and play the cards I was dealt, and still was promoted, still progressed, still moved on up without her help. So the revenge was doing well. It wasn't
I say
easy.
that's always your best revenge, is to shine and watch them, let them watch you shine.
In spite of all of the darts, in spite of actual setting me up for failure. I didn't realize that you was going to touch on some spots that was sore to me, but because my daddy has my back, because I'm not over here by myself, shining, no matter what. And it was the leadership it was my immediate leadership that was doing me in, but it was their bosses that was seeing this and helping me still. So I'm here to win. This is what I'm here to do, in spite of all of the mess that I had to deal with. I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to share with others. I'm like, y'all not by yourselves. You are not the only one this has happened to. It's just that if you think you got it bad, somebody else got it worse. Believe that.
Believe that. So let's talk a little bit about what microaggressions are. So microaggressions are often subtle, they're indirect, but they have such a big impact on how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your workplace, right? How you feel about sometimes even your skills. You call your skills into question sometimes when people are hitting you at you. They're every day, they could be verbal, they could be nonverbal. Environmental slights and insults, right?
It could
always kind of questioning you.
But it could also come from hurt people.
Oh, yes.
The example I got was, nobody helped me, so why should I help you? But why is that my problem, though? Still winning, though. Still winning.
Look, still winning.
Still winning.
That's it, right? And I also want to say that sometimes they can be intentional or unintentional, right? A lot of times microaggressions are intentional, but sometimes I think their microaggressions are misplaced, right? And they may be focused at you. It's not intentional, but they're so frustrated with the job. They're so frustrated with other things. We know the shit rolls downhill. And when people are getting it, management's getting it, sometimes they don't intend to, but sometimes they spread it around to their team and their coworkers, right?
But it should stop with you if you are not in agreement with the culture. It should stop with you, and you have a choice to make to not perpetuate and to do something else to move us forward and stuff, instead of trying to beat the next soldier down because you were beat down. Like, but that should be motivation for you to not do that to somebody else, in my mind.
Yeah, but sometimes, but just like you said, hurt people, right? Stress people, right? So like when I worked at a major telecom company, who shall remain nameless, we had, and I've told this story on other shows. Well, let's, which one we gonna tell? Well, this was after I left. I'm not even going to go with that microaggression. I'm going to go with a whole different one.
Mm-hmm.
I had started working at a small consulting firm that was out of Denver. Now, I was out of Washington. They flew me down, did the interview. The manager was great. She was an older, um, non Black lady in
Mm-hmm.
about her 50s to 60s, right? So she's
Mm-hmm.
very established. She ran the whole West Coast for their company.
Mm-hmm.
I came in, I'm doing my job. I took over for another project manager. I'm coming in and doing like project management QA. I'm doing my thing. I'm shining. The head of DSHS, the VP of DSHS came wanted to talk to me because I'm doing such great work, blah blah blah. On one of our team calls, our VP says, "You know, Leanne, we've been hearing such great things about you. Um, we definitely have some projects on the West Coast that I think you can handle." Oh, why did he say that? That's the moment the microaggression started with my manager. And it started with little things like, um, did you spell check this document before you sent it to me? It's
It's
a draft.
undermining for me. It's
Yeah, it was very, very much little things. And all of a sudden, well, you know what? You can't put too many negative, you can't put too many recommendations, or they think the person doesn't know what they're doing. You're not putting enough recommendations, right? It was always that there's a bar that moves. How am I
Mhm.
supposed to meet it when every month it's moving, right? And it calls you into question. Do I know what I'm doing? I must be, because they over here. You can't shun, but you let people dim your light sometimes by all these negative comments, and it creates that alienating factor at work where now you don't even feel like you want to talk to anybody, blah blah blah. But like you said, there's always people that are in your corner, hopefully, that you can talk to, that are going to help you in spite of all these other issues and things that people are throwing at you, right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes microaggressions, I guess, let me say this, like the most common, or a common misconception about microaggressions, is that it's just harmless remarks. They're just too trivial to take serious, right? Because they
Woo!
start because they usually try to take little things. Like you said, I didn't get any help. Why do you need help? Right? Just little things that you're like, that's I can't even, how do I report this? It's not really a whole thing that they're doing, but I feel a way because it's starting to become a pattern of these little things,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But look at it this way. If a mosquito come and bite you, it's buzzing around you every day, biting you over and over and over in that same spot, that's a trivial thing.
Hmm.
But over time, and that constant barrage and onslaught of just right there, it's going to get to you.
Mhm.
It's no longer trivial,
Hmm.
right?
Individually it's trivial, but built up over time, it's an issue.
And that's microaggressions, right? It's that that repeated, that pattern that's wearing a person down, that's making their work environment, church environment, wherever, home environment, toxic.
Hmm. It's
And
such
over time, you're going to either explode or you're going to just perish.
hmm. Or if you like me, my brain is kind of wired differently and stuff. I accept your challenge. Let me. I can show you better than I can tell you, and you just go in there and you kill the doggone thing, burn the bitch down with
That's
your
it.
greatness, and you're just and thriving in spite of, and you actually almost want to thank them, because had you not been put in this situation to be able to crumble or rise to the occasion and just,
Mm-hmm.
man, like okay, we were black people of color, we everybody else got a head start, but
Mm-hmm.
we're still winning. We gave you were given a head start. We didn't give you anything. Things were taken from us, and we're still winning in spite of. Like old boys say, we are the ones and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just
That's it. And
like
people don't,
we,
and I think sometimes we forget that, right? Most times when we come into a work environment, a professional environment, we have the feeling of having to be better than the next person,
hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Better than
mm-hmm,
all these other people before we're even seen as basic, as standard. We have to be up here when everybody else is down here for us to shine. Now, that's not always the case, but more often than not, we're having to prove ourselves above and beyond what our non Black counterparts have to do.
mm-hmm.
So you toss that in there. Then you toss in the little nagging, the comments, the shade that comes out, sometimes the racial underpinnings behind the comments. That's going
And
to
I
wear on
just,
you. That's going to wear on you. And you have to
yeah,
know,
yeah,
how do I, one, distinguish between somebody who is being aggressive with me
mm-hmm,
and somebody who may just be curious, or who may be giving me constructive criticism, or who may be trying to help me, and maybe they're just a little too direct and don't really know how to phrase their words. Because everybody that comes at you ain't always negative. Like I said, sometimes it's unintentional and people don't know they're doing
hmm. That could be taken more than one way, and it's it's uh it's just so much to unpack with this subject, to be able to look back and be like, you survived every last one of them. You're here. You went through those. You're going to get a good and a bad example out of everybody that you encounter. It's
it.
up to you to glean that thing that's for you and leave the rest to trash and just keep it moving and stuff. And it's like, I look I have to, I don't know, you just be speaking to my spirit without speaking to me my brain, when you come up with these topics that you're pulling stuff out of me that I thought I had put away to bed and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
to
That's
be
the
able,
goal. That's
yeah,
the goal of
yeah,
the show.
yeah, you some kind of wonderful, ma'am. I'm just trying to tell you, Leah, you
Well, thank you.
just
Well, thank you. Well, let
wow.
me tell you how I think about the difference between somebody who's genuinely curious, or trying to give constructive criticism, let's say, versus these microaggressions. How do I know when it's microaggression versus something harmless, right?
Mm-hmm,
And it's not always something that's straightforward that you can pick out. But
mm-hmm,
I feel like looking at context and look at the content of what they're saying to you is very key to that.
yeah.
So first, when you think about um, curiosity or constructive feedback,
Mm-hmm.
typically there'll be questions that are trying to understand, right, and connect with you. Whereas those microaggressions, they're there to just very subtly invalidate and or stereotype you,
Hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So when I look at an interaction that may not be going well, you have to come from, okay, is this person asking me questions to really understand who I am, right? To understand why I've done a thing a certain way? Or are they just here to say, that's wrong, you did it wrong, you're incompetent, you're whatever, right? If they're saying things, and you know how sometimes be like, oh, what is it, like those people? They may not even be talking to you, right?
Mhm.
They may not even be talking to you, but they're talking around you, or you hear them at the quote unquote water cooler. Ooh, those people are always just so late. Those people are always blah, blah, blah. Or you come into those, like, what was I watching? Um, I was watching on my little TikTok. I was on the TikTok, and I was watching a video, and it was a photographer at a like a newspaper, and they were at like a council meeting or whatever. He left his recording going.
Hot mic.
He's gone. He's gone. Meeting's over. He hit his recorder and he left it on so he could see what was going on. Not only were these people talking negative about him, of course, they was plotting to lullaby his ass. Y'all know what I mean.
What was that? What were you?
Bye, baby.
What were you watching?
I don't know. It's just
I remember that.
Scroll. It was a big thing. He worked. It was a small town kind of newspaper, and they were like, it was him. There was the chief of police or the sheriff's department or something. Like, it was not just one council person. It was multiple people coming together. Well, if we need to get rid of him, right? Those kind of conversations that come out, and then you look back at the conversations you've had with these people. That's where those microaggressions were coming out, and you didn't see them. To me, the microaggressions are just a microcosm of the larger issue of hatred, jealousy, whatever that negative emotion is that's driving them. Fear. Like you said, I think she's here to take my job, because that's damn sure what the lady thought of me. She thought that this young, sexy Black woman that I was coming in to take her job. What she should have seen was, you know what? I pick really talented people who shine, and I may lose a couple here, but that opens me up to expand into another area.
Yeah.
But people don't always see that. What they see is their fear. They see their own doubts. They see their own insecurities. And now you want to put those off on the next.
But it's not your business. That's theirs. And you just trying to, like you say, live, thrive, and survive in a situation that you're placed in, and to come out standing on your feet and just still producing and still doing what you came there to do and stuff. So it's like, wow, this is a great subject. My goodness.
What did I walk in on? I'm so sorry, y'all.
It's okay. We are talking about exposing and overcoming microaggressions in the workplace.
See?
We ain't gonna talk about some I've had.
Oh yes, ma'am. That's what
you can. You just don't. You don't have to say the company.
Right. It was. All I can say is that it seems to be, for me, I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. It seems that microaggressions towards Black women is a thing.
Yes.
And looking back on it now, from the company that I left back in November, the microaggressions came from not only the white folks on campus, it also came from Black women. Black women were notorious for
That's what you missed. That's
right.
Exactly what you missed.
So I want to make sure that I talk about it from my perspective, because people were slick with it. They were really, really, really slick with it, and me being clueless, like, I'm always in my own head, you know what I mean? Like, Pam, I'm the girl, and I think, Leanne, you kind of mimic that just from me hanging out with you the couple times that I have, where you just enjoying your own life, your own existence, you vibing, you chilling, you doing your thing. You're not trying to do or be anybody else but you, and enjoy your life experience. And so I'm gonna give y'all an example. And it's disgusting to me. So during COVID, in my job, I had the opportunity to work from home or not. I chose to continue to go into the office. Well, the burnout started to happen. So they told me, my boss told me at the time, he said, I only want you to go into the office if you have to, because you're one of the essential folks that if we need you to go on campus, if something breaks out, we need you to be there. I was in labor relations. So I was like, okay, I could literally work from home. So I did. Well, I continued with that habit after COVID and they reopened the facility. Mm-hmm. And so I would work from the my home office, do what I had to do. All my equipment and stuff I needed was there. Well, it just so happened this young sister had become the HRBP, and she sent an email out to my new boss and all of the senior folks and said, hey, I was really considering expanding my office space since Paulette is never in the office anyway.
Oh, we shady
little girl. That's what we doing.
We shady boots with it.
She did that. And she pushed the issue. And because my boss was new, she didn't really understand what was going on. You being shady because you have to be there. I was told, don't bring your ass in here because we don't need you sick. If something happens, we need you to be on call. I did exactly as I was told. But see, because it ain't none of her business, she didn't know that conversation had been had. Well, she dug and she dug. Until finally I said, you know what? Here's the keys. You're right. I'm not here anyway. And I moved across the street to the other building because I was over the entire campus. Right. So it didn't matter where I went. I didn't care. But since really what you were doing with your microaggressive ass was you were trying to tell everybody she don't come to work.
Exactly. She's not doing her job.
The work is getting done mysteriously, right? But
interesting enough, events were still being had. I was still holding my meetings. I was still doing everything. I was the go-to person for the community. So, but that's what you were slick trying to do. Mm-hmm. And then you would come to me and smile and with your professional self and I could see right through your young ass. But you know what though? I'm going to put it to you like this. You are where you are at every moment of your life so that you can do something about it. And I made a decision that I was going to ignore the microaggressions. It's really sad to see Black women do that to each other at work. For whatever reason, it's disgusting. We should be banding together because bad enough, they already see us one way. You know what I mean? Like it didn't matter. Now I'm going to go here. It didn't matter what I did. I was constantly having my work checked because I was the blackest thing on the team. So if I put out a newsletter or because that was part of my job, if I did this or I did that, they always wanted the little white girl to always double check my work. So I had to send it to Ohio to be checked before I sent anything else. I stopped doing it. I just started sending it out. Then it was, well, why aren't you? Because I'm a grown ass woman with multiple degrees and I know how to double check my own stuff. Every once in a while, she would find some things, but she would be like, oh, but this, can we just change this here? Oh, so you can have something to do, ma'am. So those are the kinds of things that were disgusting to me as a Black woman working in a predominantly white space where they didn't think that you could do much but pick or pack. But I worked in the corporate sector of it. And it was disgusting. Looking back on it now, y'all was talking to me any kind of way. I didn't have anybody to protect me while I was there because after my boss left, that was it. And he was a brother. Once he was gone, that was it.
Yeah, your covering is gone.
My covering
they're gonna come and they're gonna come for you.
They came for me, baby. You hear me? They came for me. And the abuse that I put up with at that company was ridiculous. And they could say, oh, well, we didn't do that. Yes, you did. I'm about to cuss real hard and say the F word, but I understand that this is not that kind of show. Listen.
No, we cuss here.
Okay, yes, fuck you did. That's what you did. You did that.
And you didn't get all the fuck yous.
Yes. You knew exactly what you were doing and the slickness of it. Well, since she's not here anyway, she doesn't come into the office anyway. Ma'am. See, that's the kind of slickness. Or when you decide that since I'm still in the process of moving my office, you're going to help me. And you're going to take all my stuff and put it on a cart and you're going to push it to my new office for me. I didn't ask you to do that, ma'am. Well, we just wanted to make sure that you had everything that you had. If you bitches don't carry your Black
don't be holding back, Paulette. Come on. Because
that time is gone from my life.
Right.
Don't
let her bring the anger back. Leave it. Let her.
You know what I mean? And I would always have to hold my tongue. You know what I mean? Because I'm better than that. And I was one of the oldest people. Matter of fact, I was outside of my boss, I was the oldest person on the team. So you're not going to bring that out of me. You're not going to do that with your young ass.
And sometimes that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bait you, right? So now we've got these microaggressions in our face. We've learned how to kind of identify them because it's not coming from a place of wanting to connect with us and wanting to understand or wanting to help us improve. It's coming from a place of tearing us down, denigrating us, and making us feel less than, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now how do we address it? How do we address the microaggressions? So I have a couple of ways, couple of little strategies here that I've been researching. And some things that I do. One, there's always the ignore it factor. Ignore it and you focus on shining. Because when you shine, nothing they say can touch you. They can keep trying and keep trying. But as long as you're making that money, that company money, long as you turning and doing all the things that you're so fabulous at doing, you have to learn how to turn that, what they say that close your ears, turn a blind ear, blind eye, something like that. So that it's not hurting you. You have to shore up yourself. They say there's one method. It's called the ouch and educate method.
The what?
The ouch and educate method.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this one.
Mm-hmm. So first, you express that what that person said was hurtful. That's the ouch. Okay, that wasn't right. That was hurtful, harmful. And then, now this is the key word, calmly let them know why what they have said and or done is problematic. That's the educate. Because we're solution based here. We're not just going to say, you know what you said was not right. Right? We come with facts. When we ready to tear somebody down, we got the facts, we got the statistics, the data,
we do
the numbers.
Yep.
We done look some stuff up. We did. Typing all fast and mad. Okay.
What'd you say? Yeah.
But we coming with it. Because when I come ready to address, I could cuss you out without saying one cuss word and make you feel this big. You know we masters of that. We the petty, but we don't bring the petty out. We don't let them bring the petty out of us. We're gonna ouch and educate. Now there's also one that's called assertive communication. Okay. Assertive communication. And it's not aggressive. See, people think assertive and aggressive are the same thing. It's not aggressive communication, it's assertive communication. And that's where you're going to express your feelings and needs directly and respectfully. Again, let me repeat. Because I am assertive and I'm being direct does not mean I'm being aggressive. It's not about being aggressive, but it's about standing up for yourself in a way that maintains your dignity and integrity and the other person's. Sometimes, like when Michelle Obama said, they go low, we have to go high. Now, my first impulse is always to go lower. I'm probably PhD level of petty, but I ain't going to let you take me there in my professional environment. I will never let you get me out of my zone. I'm a Cancer, baby. I could be hurt and crushed on the inside and you will never see it. You will never know. People think we all say, I ain't crying about it. I mean, cry in the car. I'm going to cry in front of you. You ain't
not crying. Yeah, right.
Right. You can also focus on creating allies. Because that's your best. Oh, that's such an essential strategy. Just like you said, Sharonda, when you're immediate, you had to get some help from the higher ups to address her issues of trying to stop your growth and being fearful that you're coming for her job. When people see your shine, they see that light. Sometimes it intimidates and scares a lot of people.
It does.
fear causes people to do irrational things, to act in irrational manners, and to act in ways that are unprofessional and out of and not in a way that has integrity.
Right.
Okay. So get you a network of allies who can provide you support. They can help validate your experiences, and also who can speak up and help challenge these microaggressions when they see them happening. Because I'm going to stand up for the little person, for the other person. That's not right. What we're not going to do here is have that conversation, right? It could be a colleague, it could be a mentor, it could be diversity and inclusion committees that are within your organization. It could be the women's group,
Right.
The different groups that are there. There's typically support systems in larger companies that are built to kind of help you network and build up your connections and allies. So use that, right? And again, come with your facts and your statistics.
Or you can do an energy shift, and instead of investing in the things that are causing you the much pain that you would normally take the time to address, but for me, I shifted my energy and I put that energy into finding a better job for my next promotion, because I'm just like not here for this. I'm here. I came here to work. I'm not here to make friends. That would be extra, but I'm here to do a job. And when the reason in the season is gone, and I'm only required in the federal arena, you're only required 52 weeks in a position in order for you to go ahead and pull up, right? And so that's what I did. I did my doggone 52 weeks, and in the middle of that, I started looking for a job and got it, and got the hell on out. And my supervisor came back to the office like, "Where's Sharonda?" "Oh, she didn't settle for you giving her that 9. She went ahead and got that 11 and got approved."
Come on, somebody.
Hold on. Hold it.
Look at her.
She got a fan.
She got her fan. She's ready now.
I love it.
She's ready now. You can't tell her nothing.
Energy shift.
I agree with the energy shift, but sometimes we're in the middle of it. We still have to focus on the negative that is happening to us now, right? So that involves taking care of yourself, making sure that you are practicing self-care, right? It's making sure you're getting enough rest, right? What are the things that you like to do that you enjoy? Because sometimes when you get home from work and you so stressed out, look, I'm gonna have me a beer. I'm gonna have me a cold beer. Okay. Sometimes I used to sit in the car a lot. I thought I was the only person in the world who was sitting in the car.
You are
I
not.
can sit in the car for 3 hours. Okay. I can sit in the car for 3 hours and just be listening to my music, scrolling,
chilling, trying to bring it down.
Because I don't want to bring their negative energy. I'm not letting it permeate my household.
Right. Leave it at the
because
door.
now you coming home, you snappy with your husband and or wife and kids and family, right? Make sure that you are nurturing your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, right? What you're trying to build up is resilience, resistance to all their negativity and hate.
Ooh.
Right?
I felt that in my spirit.
But trust, we're going to get assertive with our communications and let them know that what they're doing is unacceptable.
Yeah.
We have to stand up for ourselves. Now, sometimes everybody isn't in a position where they feel they can do that.
Right.
And in that instance, Sharonda, 100%. Make sure you're educating yourself about what microaggressions are. Make sure you're documenting all the cases of these little things that are happening to you, and plan your exit strategy.
Absolutely.
We don't have to stay in an environment that is toxic, that is negative, and that is aggressive.
Sometimes it takes one person to be the sacrificial lamb. It takes one person to make change in an environment, because you just made me remember a situation again in the Army. I was in a situation where they were basically, I'm at a educational environment, and they're eating their young that looks like me. And another person got into my ear and was like, ma'am, if you don't feel like you're getting the support that you need, you can go outside of the organization. I'm like, what you talking about? It was like, you can launch a complaint that had to entail what you just said, chronicling times and dates and events. And my packet went to this inspecting official, and that packet was enough to create change in that organization that just comfortable with doggone doing the mediocrity and the fuckery of it all and stuff, right?
Yeah, and sometimes we have, like you said, you have to be, and we're not calling it a sacrificial lamb. You are the change agent.
Okay, I'll accept that.
We're taking it positive. You were, because a sacrificial lamb means you went to slaughter.
You right? Okay,
right. That means you were slaughtered. What you did was, I was the change agent. I stood up for what was right, and I affected change in that organization. We're not sacrificial lambs over here.
Okay. See, thank you for the language, because you're changing how I see myself. And let me tell you, it was hard. It was very hard, because it was sometimes the right thing to do is the hard thing to do. Because I could have just,
it usually is the hardest thing to do.
Right. But if you push on through, and on the other side, that's where your blessing is. And the people coming behind you gets the support that you didn't get. They get, all of the things. But it took one person to be the change agent to make this culture correct itself, because they were so comfortable doing things the way that they were doing. And other people, they saw what was going on and they didn't like it. And then here comes Captain Seeley, and went out there and did the work, came back and changed the face of the organization. And it was very rewarding to hear for them. But for me, I needed me in my life. So there
was nobody to help you,
part, right?
Yeah, there was nobody to help you get through that. You had to be the one to help other people. So it's not immediately beneficial to me, because I'm already moving on.
Yeah, I'm still leaving, but we got.
But I made a mark so that this doesn't continue to happen to other people like me. Right. Absolutely. And that to me, I think, is super important, is that we realize that sometimes dealing with and affecting change coming out of these microaggressions is not going to be always immediately beneficial in where we are right now. Sometimes we are making change for those that are coming after us. Right. Yeah. But we also need to make sure that we are keeping ourselves up, that we are keeping ourselves happy, healed, and whole, and that we're doing the things that are necessary, right, to stay the course. Because sometimes we can't just leave and jump to another position. Right. Then 52 weeks may have just started when the microaggression starts. And we got bills to pay, we got kids, we got obligations, businesses, whatever. We can't always make those quick jumps, but you can create a strategy to move out of that. You can start documenting so that you can make a case that can affect change in that organization where you are. Right? You can always do that. We should always have a plan. Now let's take a little bit of break. Okay, because you are watching and or listening to Wake Up Happy Sis on KCCR, the Brownstone, where we're changing the narrative for our people by telling our stories our way. And just a quick little plug, your girl is going to be, there we go, your girl going to be speaking at the Dare to Fly Empowerment Conference and Scholarship Gala this Saturday. It's held by the organization Permission to Fly by my good friend Miss Rowe. And I will be there speaking on 5 ways to help you reclaim your me time. Okay? Because what we are done with is we are done with giving everything of ourselves. We're done giving out of our cup. Right? When it says your cup runneth over, the runneth over part is what you're supposed to give to everybody else.
That part.
It's for you. But
Preach it.
we're not used to that. What we're used to is giving our overflow, giving our stash, and giving until we are empty. But what you're going to learn is how do I reclaim that me time without feeling guilty about taking time away from my kids, my husband, my job, my business, my friends, the church, the community. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
How do I say that it's okay to focus on me first? Because when I'm not happy, healed, and whole, and I'm the foundation of the family, and everything rests on me, when I'm not taking care of me, am I honestly able to take care of others?
Wow.
Right.
Do I get stuck in the modality that I'm only as good as the service I provide to others? That's how most of us live our lives. I got to make sure my kids are okay. I got to make sure my husband or wife is okay. I got to make sure that my parents are okay, my friends, everybody's okay before Leanne. That means I'm only as good as the service that I give.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to be talking about that. Okay. So make sure you come on out to Riverdale Town Center in Riverdale, Georgia. I will be speaking at 1:30 p.m. Make sure you come out. They got some great topics there that you'll want to go. And they're having a scholarship gala later in the day. So I think it starts at like 5.
Nice.
So make sure you come dressed cute, okay? So that you can attend, you can learn, you can connect, and support a wonderful organization. Now let's get to some other business. We got the block party coming up, y'all. Paulette, tell them what the block party is and who we helping out.
Absolutely. So the block party is hosted by Brownstone Worldwide, and it is held August 4th. I'm reading it, y'all. That's sad, and I'm coordinating it. Okay, so it's being held Friday, August 4th at the beautiful Dove Down in Griffin, Georgia. It's a gala fundraiser, and we are working directly with an organization called Power to Exhale. And so the chapter that I'm a part of is called Exhale Central Georgia. And we are opening up the doors of the church so that we can hopefully get some folks to open up their purse and donate funds to help send 2 beautiful young women to college. And they are college scholarships. So now, we're trying to do more than just book scholarships. And I said this before, where we have people that give $300 scholarships, $400, and I'm not knocking the $300 or $400, but listen, $300 and $400 going to give you a subscription service to the digital book that you need, and then it's gone, right? We have students who are literally, especially if you have a student that's at an HBCU, that are being put out of school or off campus because they're no longer considered the newbie on campus. So if you are a junior or a senior, they're having you go and find an apartment. Well, what if you're not working and you're doing this full time? You know what I mean? And that's getting your education. So we're talking about trying to raise enough funds to at least help a student for a semester, right? They can do with it what they choose, but for them to be able to relax so that they can focus on getting their education and keeping them grades up so they can apply for more scholarships and do the things that they need to do.
That's right.
That's what this is really about. So what's it going to include for your $30, right? Because really what it is you're going to get dressed up. You're going to come and hang out with us. You're going to do some networking. You're going to get your picture taken, all of the fun stuff. And then you're going to have your gala dinner. And then we're going to have our fashion show with local boutiques. And we're going to have some local vendors. We've got music that's going to be played by a lovely DJ. I don't think he would like me calling him lovely, but handsome DJ.
No.
And then, of course, we have our speakers. I'm one of the MCs for the evening, and we'll have some of the Brownstone Worldwide Air personalities who are local to this area, in the Atlanta area, that will probably be in attendance. And I know that Dr. Michelle Josie said that she's going to try to come in from North Carolina to come and hang out with us for this particular day. So,
and we will be passing the collection plate.
Yes, and we need to pass the collection plate. Yes. So there is a link that is available if you are interested in being a sponsor of the event, and I'm going to be sharing that on our Facebook page at Brownstone Worldwide. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then finally, got the cruise coming up. 2024, the Neighbors Retreat Cruise. Okay. We're going to be leaving out of Fort Lauderdale, heading on over to the islands, having a good time, doing all the little onboard cruisy things. Okay. So there's not till 2024. So that gives you more than enough time to clear your schedule to make sure that you got all your munties together. So all the things that you want to do at the different ports of call, you can do, right? Make sure that you head on over to brownstoneworldwide.com. Get on that mailing list. That's the best way to stay up to date on all things cruise, gala, show, just everything we have going on. Just make sure that you keep it locked to brownstoneworldwide.com and Brownstone Worldwide on Facebook. Okay?
Yes. It's going to be fun.
So, as we get ready to wrap up, I want to talk about back to this kind of assertive communication strategy, because I want to make sure that people kind of understand a little bit deeper dive into it, right? So how can I, implement this assertive strategy, Leanne? I know everybody's wondering, right? You can try using I statements because what we're trying to do is, like I said, we're trying to go higher than their lowness. We're raising our vibration. We're keeping our energy high.
Wait. Isn't it funny that the PhD of petty is telling somebody this? This is pretty amazing. I love it.
Look,
I love
Dr. Petty. Dr. Petty Boots, that's what you could call me if you're going to. But that don't mean I don't have sense, okay? I got a little common sense. I got a little bit. Okay. Your girl know how to act right when she want to, but I sure know how to act up. Woo. Sure know how to act up. But I'm not going to let you get me fired because I had to, you had to catch
show them verbal hands and stuff.
Yeah, it's a way to do it. That's right.
Yeah. But when I say I statements, I'm saying things like, not you da 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 da. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was hurt when you. I was upset when you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to try to de-escalate the situation. Right? I felt that I was being stereotyped when you said. Right?
We're supposed to say it like that.
You have to, we're trying to de-escalate.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to de-escalate. And you don't have to. These are just recommendations. But when the goal, right, is to not be confrontational, unfortunately, especially as a Black woman, because when we go in, look, because that's how we want to come in neck rolling and all that anger.
That's my inside thing. That's my inside.
Right. Stop listening, but they stop listening. Because at that point, what have we now become?
The angry
Black woman.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, sometimes we cannot go in with that anger. But what pisses people off more? When you come in poised, professional, and they still over there in their angry space. That makes them more angry. Well, all this shit I'm doing to piss Leanne off and to make her feel like shit.
Working.
It's not working. Right? Because I could say, pull up, bitch. Pull up, ho.
I'm outside. I cannot.
But I ain't doing that. what I'm coming with is Karen.
Why her name got to be Karen?
Because
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Karen is the one that's always causing the problem. That's just the Karen, right? Karen. When you're constantly looking over my shoulder and second guessing me, it makes me feel as if blah, blah, blah. I have been here and I have done this, and you could do that. You may, Karen may not listen, but you may have to document all the things that Karen is doing so that you can make your case, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you want to make sure you're staying calm, that you're staying composed. Because when we come with poise and professionalism, baby, that makes them so much more angry because they could not get under your skin.
Yeah.
And you kept it classy. You kept it professional. You kept it above board at all times.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be clear and concise. We ain't got to go into a whole diatribe of just be clear, be concise, spell it out why it was belittling to you and or the other person if you're speaking on someone else's behalf.
Yeah.
And document. Remember that part. Don't forget that part. Document every time. Don't have a whole bunch of conversations. Hit them with the emails. Conversations ain't tracked. Emails are.
Yes,
per hour. And if you had a conversation, follow it up with an email. Per hour conversation on June 8th at 11 a.m.
I like that.
There's a person on TikTok, and the lady's always asking her guy friend, how do I say, like, this is a stupid ass meeting? And he always has the most professional way. I think that this would be better served as an email versus a whatever, right? He's got all the professional ways to say it. Go on over to our favorite ChatGPT. ChatGPT, for those who didn't understand what
ChatGPT. I'm done.
No. I thought we only had room enough for one comedian on this podcast.
Oh, now I can't be funny.
We need all the laughter, girl. We need all the laughter.
I love it.
But you can head over to ChatGPT and have it give you professional ways to say certain things if you're unsure how to phrase something, right? That's easy. And make sure you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're aligning yourself. If there isn't a diversity and inclusion committee, this might be your time to be a world changer and to start one in this organization. Because trust me, there are other people who feel like you and who see that things are wrong. And they just, sometimes it takes that one person. You ever been when it's time to go eat and the buffet start off, nobody wants to be the first person because the first person seen is greedy. I have no problem with that because I like to eat. Okay. The first person out on the dance floor, nobody wants to be the first person, right? It sometimes just takes that first person to step out.
Right.
And those who wanted to, but didn't feel like they were a front man or front woman, they will gladly come and support and engage and create and grow. So it's okay to put yourself out there and be that change agent.
Yeah.
It only takes one person to change somebody else's life, to change their own life. But we have to stand up against all the microaggressions and toxicities and narcissism that we are thrown on a daily basis, especially if you're in an industry that is largely white or male dominated and you're a female, especially a Black woman. I'm an IT chick by nature. So I've dealt with all the microaggressions of them not
you have.
that I was smart enough to do certain things. When I found out that if you're non-Black, you could cuss at work and cuss at your managers, I was like, what? What did you do that? They could cuss in the meetings? Our non-Black counterparts are able to do and get away with things that we are not. So we have to be smart about how we address and respond to things. And it's not about being a yes man. It's not about being a simp. It's not about sucking up. It's about maintaining professionalism, integrity, and decorum, and always rising above the bullshit that is tossed at us. Because if they throwing the bullshit down on the ground and we up here, baby, it ain't touching us.
Absolutely.
So it's 11. It's time to mosey on up out of these self-care streets.
Yes.
So if you would like to connect, contact, be engaged with the things, all the things that Wake Up Happy Sis has, then make sure you head on over to Facebook, look for Wake Up Happy Sis, and join the group. You can also like our business page. It'll say Dulce and Lay and Wake Up Happy Sis in what is that, parentheses. You can look us up on every social media at Dulce and Lay, and we're on all podcasting platforms. So if you want to check out this episode as well as all of the others, we're on all the podcasting episodes. You can always find us on brownstoneworldwide.com/BWTV. Okay. Yep. So we out in these streets. We making it happen. We're coming to you and bringing wellness to your doorstep so that you can what? Wake Up Happy Sis. So, Sharonda, how can the people find you?
You can find me on all platforms. My big business is Bookkeeping for Life. And that's my website. This is my business name, Bookkeeping 101, where I take the stress away from you so you can focus on what you do.
Amen. Okay, I see you.
And Paulette.
Well, you can find me on all things Brownstone Worldwide, period. End of story. BrownstoneWorldwide.com, KCCR, Brownstone Living Magazine, and on all social media platforms, Brownstone Worldwide. There you go.
There, I'm putting your banner up so that when you come on, boom, there it is.
Brownstone Worldwide. Yep, you do that.
That's how you can find her.
Amen. Amen.
So make sure you stay tuned. We're coming back Monday. What is our topic on Monday? The topic for Monday's show is the balancing act. 7 surprising ways to thrive in your career and your life without sacrificing your health or your happiness. We've got a guest on that show. It's going to be Thea Parker. She's a self-care strategist as well, self-love strategist. So make sure, or life coach, make sure that you come on Monday because we're going to be back here 10 a.m. Eastern doing the do.
All right now.
That's it.
Have a good one, y'all.
All right.
Have the day you're supposed to have because you're making it that way.
That part. Amen.
Amen. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.